So we'll see what is promise, what is callback function, what is the advantage of promise over callback function in this video. So let's see this, like we have a card, like we have bought shoes, pants and kurta. Okay, and then once you have put all this in the cart, right, you have to create an order. To create an order, you have to pass the cart, whatever you have purchased, right, whatever you put in the cart, you have to pass that. Okay, the create order, what it does is it creates the order and then it creates an order ID, and then after the order ID is created only you have to proceed to the payment. Okay, so how to do that? So you have to call the proceed to payment function after the order ID is created. So to the create order, you are passing a callback function. This is a callback function, and in the function you are calling proceed to payment. Okay, this is the one way you can do. Okay, so this is a callback function. Usually after the order is created, this will be called. Okay, now the other way to do is you create an order, and this create order is async function, so it returns a promise, and the order ID is the data in the promise. So when this promise resolves, when the order is created, right, after then only you call the proceed to payment. This way also you can do. Okay, what is the advantages here in this callback function, right? You don't know about create order. The create order might not call your callback function. Till now, the control is in your with you. Once you provide a callback function, right, the control is not with you. The control is with the create order. So inversion of control is happening here. Okay, we have to depend on the create order function. So it might call the callback function, it might not call, we don't know. Okay, but in the case of promise, we are depending on JavaScript engine's promise. Okay, so when the create order, what it does, it returns a promise, right? So when the create order resolves, right, automatically this function will be called, because JavaScript is used to call your .then function. Okay, so you are not asking create order to call your function. Create order, after this, it just need to resolve it. JavaScript is calling our callback function, right? So it is more reliable. This is one advantage of promise. We will see other advantage of promise is there's something called as callback hell. Now, what is callback hell? So for create order, it creates an order and it calls proceed to payment. For proceed to payment, right? You have to show the order summary before payment, right? You have to show the order summary. So it is calling order summary. Okay. So before showing the order summary, read the wallet balance. How much balance you have? So it's calling wallet balance. So this has to happen first. Then it has to happen first. This is what is callback hell, right? This has to be after doing something. This has to be called. Right? This code doesn't look good. You're calling callback inside callback inside callback, right? This is what is called callback hell. So this can be avoided using promise, and this can be done using promise chaining. This is what is promise chaining, right? This create order returns a promise. Dot then once resolved, you call the proceed payment. When proceed payment resolves, you call the show order summary. And dot then you call update wallet balance. But this is not the right way to do, because this data, right, proceed to payment, it has to be passed to the show order summary. Here in this case, right, the order ID has to be passed to proceed payment. Okay, so if that is the case, the right way to do is that you have to return. When you're calling this function, you have to return. Okay, this is what is option chaining. You have to return the value. This value you have to use it here. Okay, this value you have to use it here. Now let's see what is the other way of doing this. So the advantage of using async is this, right? This code, which is difficult to read, right, because of chaining. Dot then returns a promise, and then you do a dot then on that, right? This code looks cleaner. The create order, right? It waits for the order to create, and then after this resolves, it returns the order ID. You get the order ID here, and you pass the order ID to the proceed payment. The proceed payment returns the payment info. right? And you wait for this payment info, and you call other function with the payment info, and it returns a order summary, and you give the order summary to get the wallet balance, right? So all the things will be executed only when the previous is done. This is the best way to handle promise. So async and await is used to handle promise. So this is the beauty of async and await. The code looks simple, easy to understand, right? So this is the best way to write code when you do promise handling. Let's see how to debug in VS Code. In index.html, I have included the script tag index.js, and then I have opened this index.html. This is the code. I opened the index.html in my browser. Okay, and then what I have to do is I have to go to the sources. In the sources, just before the line, if I click it, a breakpoint will be set. If I click this, a breakpoint will be set here. Okay, and I can see what are the values, the call stack, and all these things I can able to see in the right hand side. So it is easy to debug. So let me try to refresh the code. The console is empty. The console is empty. So let me refresh this code. Okay, now the debugger is set. Now the debugger is in the call stack. There is nothing there. The debugger is we have set a breakpoint line number 23. So line number 23 it is the execution has stopped. So I'm going to the this one right step into the function. I'm getting into the handle promise. So I'm getting into the handle promise. Now the call stack will have handle promise. Okay. Now when the await happens, right? I told you right. When the await happens, the async function will be moved out of the call stack, and the main thread execution will continue. In the main thread execution, the next statement is console log bala end, right? So when I click this, it comes to the main. Now from the call stack, your handle promise is done because it's waiting for P1 to resolve. So now here console log bala end, the statement has not executed. Okay, so now it has executed. Okay, console log bala end is executed. Okay, next it has to break here like okay, next it is going to break here. Okay, so now till now we didn't see anything, right? So that's a breakpoint here. So this promise, right, it is getting resolved in 5 seconds, and this is getting resolved in 2 seconds. So this promise got resolved. Okay, this promise 2 is already resolved. Okay, but we didn't see any function, we didn't get any call because we have put the breakpoint in this resolve. So promise 1 is not resolved. Since the promise 1 is not resolved, our execution is not resumed. Okay, and since no print is there. Okay, now if I go to the next function, okay, now it is coming to, now this it is resolved, it is coming to bala. Okay, okay, now the program has printed all the values. So this is how you have to debug using in the browser. Okay, you can go to the source and you can put a breakpoint and you can just see what is happening. You can see the call stack and stuff.